everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great holiday season. This video is going to be a little late today because Sunday came around like that. Today I am going to do a video about how to have a healthy transition. These are things I wish I would have known when I began transitioning because, as most of you know, I am kind of basically transitioning again from heat damage. I'm sorry if a lot of these are going to come from my transitioning tips video, but these are kind of things that are very necessary. So if I'm gonna have a video about, you know, having a healthy transition, then some of those things are gonna be in here. So these are things I wish I would have known, and I want to share them with you guys. I did have a question from a subscriber that asked kind of how to have a healthy transition, so I felt like this was kind of necessary. So the first thing is hair porosity. You need to find out and understand your hair porosity. Mine has all different types. It's got three. You have high porosity, low porosity, and then medium or normal. Your hair porosity tells you the ability that your hair has to absorb moisture and also the ability to let go of moisture. So it's good to know so that you know whether you need products that are extremely moisturizing or you can go, you know, a while without moisturizing. It's all about moisture with hair porosity. Another thing you should know is whether you are protein sensitive or not. You may need more protein than others. You might not need as much protein as others, and you might just be protein sensitive where your hair feels really, really brittle and dry and like it's totally damaged when you do a protein treatment. I am very protein sensitive, so the bad part about that is you kind of find out the scary way. You do have to experiment yourself, but I would say just start a little bit at a time. Something else you need to look out for is how much you are manipulating your hair. You need to have low manipulation hairstyles, so protective styling is a great one, so that your natural hair and your relaxed hair, where it meets, it's very, very brittle. So you have all this new growth, it's very strong coming in, it's pushing all the weak relaxed hair out. If you didn't take care of your relaxed hair, then it's most likely weak. But your hair, your natural hair, is stronger than your relaxed hair anyway. And so that middle point where it meets is so vulnerable for breakage. You should have low manipulation styles. So, you know, putting it in a low bun every day or something like that. Just be very careful with it. Just low maintenance. Think of that. Very low maintenance. Another thing you want to make sure that you're doing is to use protective styles to keep your hair tucked away. I'm sorry if the lighting is changing. It was so dark outside today, and now it's just apparently sunny. So when your hair is tucked away, this allows for the moisture to stay in your hair, because if your hair is anything like mine and you go out in humid weather, my hair frizzes because it expands because the air is taking moisture out of my hair. So if my hair is tucked away, it's not going nowhere, it's not expanding, moisture is not being taken out of it, it is able to just stay in there. It also reduces the chance of your hair tangling throughout the day, therefore knotting. If you're transitioning, like I said, you have a very brittle and weak point in your hair that you have to be careful with, so it's best that your hair doesn't tangle like that, like in the wind or something like that when you're out and about. I mean, your hair's gonna tangle anyway, but you might as well reduce it by not wearing it out as much. This also makes sure that you don't have your hands in your hair, because that can cause friction, which again can cause breakage. These are not things that are gonna make or break your hair, but it's kind of like a puzzle. Each piece has to fit in order for something to work out. Just remember that the hairstyles should not be too tight. Even when I braid my hair at night, sometimes it's only this section right here, but I get these little teeny white bumps, so I have to make sure that it's not too tight. That also goes for box braids or any Marley twists or even a twist out, anything like that. You just want to make sure that it's not too tight, because you can definitely move that hairline back. You also want to experiment with different oils and moisturizers. It's extremely hard with transitioning hair because you might have certain products that love your new natural hair but do not like your relaxed hair. So you have not only two different textures but two completely different hair types that you might have to cater to. Not everyone is like this. I was kind of like this. My hair hated the Shea Moisture, the hibiscus, I think it's the curling cream. My hair hated that when it was relaxed but loves it now that it's natural. So I couldn't use it at all when I was transitioning because I was like, ew, it sucks. Who would ever put this on the shelf? But it's actually really good. My hair just didn't like it when it was relaxed. So that's kind of another part in your transitioning where you just really have to listen to your hair and you have to experiment with it, which again can be tricky, but in my opinion, experimenting with moisturizers and oils is not nearly as scary as experimenting with protein. And I don't want to scare you off of protein because it's really not terrifying, but if you have a bad experience, it can make you never ever want to try protein again. I am in desperate need for a protein treatment and I'm going to make a light one to show you guys. Just in case you are protein sensitive like moi, because I can't show you, you know, a normal protein treatment because my hair would be like straw. Anyway, with the moisturizing and sealing, which is the leave-in and the oil, you want to make sure that you're doing that often throughout the week. So every other day, I would highly suggest doing it every day. Just make sure that you're doing it often because that is a huge part in going natural and making sure that you're taking care of your new growth and making sure that you are holding on to the relaxed ends just until you feel comfortable to cut them off so that they're not breaking off and then starting off horribly with your new natural hair, because if it's breaking off your relaxed hair, then your natural hair is going to break too. Deep conditioners, my favorite because I love deep conditioning my hair. I feel like I'm putting lotion on extremely dry skin when I'm just sitting there and my hair is being deep conditioned. It's amazing. But make sure you're doing it like once every 2 weeks. Again, I would personally recommend every week. Every Sunday, I like to deep condition my hair. I've been experimenting with a bunch of different ones lately just because I've been too lazy to buy an actual tub. So I've been buying the little packets, but however you're doing it, just make sure that you're doing it because again, moisture is super duper important when it comes to transitioning and just taking care of your natural hair and relaxed hair in general. These are things that you should be doing whether you are transitioning or not, but this is hard for people to understand when they don't know. Like I didn't know, and so I was like, okay, well then I can totally skip a deep conditioner. Nope, couldn't. Also, try not to do anything too fancy or too expensive because if you're gonna go that route, you're probably not gonna wanna stick with it. I use Mixed Chicks deep conditioner. I use the Organic Root Stimulator deep conditioner that smells like orange creamsicles. Oh my gosh. But try to find products that have the least amount of chemicals in them. Like let them be as naturally based as possible. They definitely will be the most beneficial. So something like Shea Moisture, which I have talked about before, is a great line to start with. It's more on the cheaper side. I mean, okay, like the shampoo and conditioner separately, you're like, what, $8.99 or $9.99, which is a lot to me, which is why I don't buy them all the time, but I like to switch between them because I've heard that your hair can kind of get used to something and then it will stop working. So I definitely use that to switch back and forth when I feel like I got a little bit more money. I can totally buy that right now. However, I am a person who understands the financial struggle, so I get it. A brand like Organics is a great brand as well. Try to make sure that there aren't any harsh chemicals or sulfates that will completely dry out your hair because you're gonna waste your money on buying deep conditioners and protein treatments and hot oil treatments and yada yada if you're just gonna use stuff that strips your hair. That's like totally defeating the purpose there. Hot oil treatments work especially for dry hair. They are like the candied apples for dry hair. I don't know what that means. You want to do a hot oil treatment after you shampoo and condition like after your wash. That's when you want to do your hot oil treatment. And it's hot oil because the warmth of the hotness allows the oil to actually penetrate the hair shaft. And then you rinse with cool water to lock it in. Therefore, just being a little extra moisturizing for your hair. Another thing you want to make sure that you're doing is hydrating your scalp. This is so easy to neglect. I neglect it. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm just being real, but you wanna make sure that you don't. I've said this before, healthy hair comes from a healthy scalp. That is totally true. It may not entirely help the hair that's already on your head, but you wanna make sure that you are moisturizing your new growth as much as you can. This is another thing about being natural, this is another thing about transitioning that I don't think this like was really hard for me to understand, and now I'm transitioning again. Stop using heat. Stop it. This is not even a suggestion anymore. This is not like transitioning tips anymore. This is like, I'm telling you what to do. No, in all seriousness, using heat is gonna set you backwards. 110%, it's going to set you backwards. I transitioned with heat, and here I am transitioning yet again. Your hair will be dry, brittle, perhaps damaged, and perhaps broken off, just depending on how you're actually taking care of your hair. I took exquisite care of my hair with light protein treatments every now and then because I dabbled, I got a little scared, and deep conditioners, hot oil treatments, professional deep conditioners, like haircuts all the time. I took such good care of my hair. And the only thing I could do was maintain my length. I couldn't grow any new growth without it being damaged. I could only maintain. And my curl pattern was shot to you know what. So I'm just letting you know that you can still take great care of your hair, but if you want your curls to pop, you're gonna have to let it go. Just let your hair be in its natural state. It can still be manipulated, like a chunky braid out, a twist out, whatever, but just let your hair be. Let her be free. So another thing that you want to look out for is detangle the way your hair wants you to. It'll be different for everyone. I know that using loads of conditioner in the shower and detangling with your fingers has notoriously worked for all curly-headed women across the board. It didn't work for me, and I'm not judging, but I'm just saying, you have to figure out which way works best for you. I detangle with a big old paddle brush and a ton of conditioner, and I am very, very careful. That is the way that I get the least amount of breakage, not shedding, because your hair is gonna shed the way it wants to, but that is the way that I get the least amount of hair in my brush, and it works for me, and it's been working for me. Another thing is to, this is the last thing, use a minimal amount of product in your hair for multiple reasons. I'm just gonna name two though. Number one, you don't want to suffocate your hair strands with so much hair product that it can no longer breathe, which can lead to breakage. But another reason why is because if you have so many products and it's like a very detailed regimen and you have to be precise and everything like that, you're going to fall off. It is too much work for you. You are going to get sick and tired of it. You are probably going to just give it up entirely. Little flippers over here. So it's better to just have something very simple, use minimal amount of products, and your hair is going to benefit from it anyway. Don't confuse it and don't suffocate your hair. I am also going to recommend 2 websites for you to check out if you have any questions. I mean, if I were you guys, I really would go look at natural like hair forums. You don't have to sign up. I signed up and I actually never ever used it, but I looked everywhere. I looked at people's problems, their progress, everything like that, and it always helps. It never hurts, it always helps. So I am going to recommend Curly Nikki right here, and then also Natural Hair Rules right here. These are 2 websites that are awesome, and they're gonna help you guys out tremendously. I know that some of you have already transitioned on this channel, but if you have any tips or anything like that, please put them down below. Again, I want my channel to be a community. I want us to be able to help each other, because not every one person has all the answers, and I want people to feel comfortable with, you know, coming to me or other people with their concerns. And so I want it to be like a family. Come here. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.